Hello, Faye here. I don't know why I went Bullwinkle on you. Been watching a little too much Full House. Anyways, just wanted to pop in before the episode starts to give a verbal and public apology to both Colonel and Farmer on this episode. We like to drink and have a good time on this show. But this one, the devil, the booze devil, he got a hold of me. He got a hold of me tight. And yeah, I was just a little too in outer space. I love this episode. And sorry, Farmer, for being such a dickhole. Apparently, I thought I was being funny, and it's bad. You'll see. You'll see. But anyways, sorry, fellas. And hopefully my editing saved this episode. We'll see. Let us know down below. Anyway, late.
Just like a baboon's ass, we're here for another episode of Sons of Screams. I am Faye. That is the Colonel.
Hello.
And tonight is a pretty special episode because we're talking two movies that I'm pretty sure you haven't heard of, but we want you to hear of it because it is directed and written by our friend Mr. Brian Bayside Farmer BFAM 2.0. So
He's delved into a lot of things.
yeah, he's a jack of all trades, master of none. We'll go with, or maybe he's master of some. It's up to you. But yeah, this week we're talking Waking Nightmare and Blue Call that you can find on Tubi. Yes. We have special bills for this
So
occasion. Since we're interviewing a special director, you can use the word special however you want.
all right. Well, my beer is from Outer Range. Leave the Life Below. It is called In the Steep.
In the Steep. That looks fucking dark and demented. Hey, he's on a podcast called Demented.
There you go. All right. So this is a 6.7% by volume alcohol.
Is that a pounder? Is that a 16 ouncer?
It is. It is indeed.
Does it tell you? Does it tell you that the flavor notes?
All it says is hops citra,
Wow.
and I can already smell the hops.
And the word hops.
I know.
You fight the word hops a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see hops on here, but as soon as I opened it, I could smell it. Mm-hmm.
We did that.
We very happy.
Well, mine is, since we're talking to our buddy Brian Farmer, and he's fat, and he's also given me a lot of shit in the past during our Outsiders of Horror days of working at Dairy Queen. I actually have this beer that literally has upside down Dairy Queen blizzards on it.
Blizzards.
Yeah, and apparently the name is Turned Down for What? A little John reference. And it's peanut butter candy and ice cream inspired stout. So when I first read that, I'm like, ooh, that could be tasty. And I was thinking it's gonna be like a common like 4.8 beer or whatever. Then I rotated the can. It's a 10% fucking beer.
Oh my!
So, and a 12-ounce can. So this could either be very disgusting or very delicious. Either way, it's very dangerous. So we'll see. So have you tried yours? You turned your head to the side there. I'm thinking that means that it wasn't.
It is very happy.
Mine smells.
I saw that look. It smells delicious. All right.
It smells delicious. It smells like a Reese's factory. I smell the peanut butter, but I'm afraid that the taste is going to be different. Let's see. That's delicious.
At least one of ours is.
Like, not beer delicious. Like, I wish that was in candy bar form and not in beer form. So it's gonna kind of be like yours last week, to where when you first tried that Dew Barrymore, you're like, "Oh, this is dangerous. It's good," but then after you start drinking it, you're gonna be like, "This is a bad idea. This is a bad decision." I think this is where this can is leaning towards. I mean, it's delicious, and it makes me want to go eat a whole entire fucking chocolate cake. But
sounds very sugary.
Yeah, it's gonna give me the body aches. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you drink liquor with sugars in it, all of a sudden your shoulders hurt and shit.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. Well, we could call you an ambulance as long as it's not a blue call ambulance.
You know, right? Like, I know what I'm getting into, but yeah, I know those blue call ambulances are no, but but compared to last week's Mr. Mingo, who can still go fuck himself.
You can still taste that, can't you?
Oh yeah, I've been tasting it in my dreams. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's still pretty good, but knowing the alcohol content in this, this is a dangerous beer for me when I have a sweet tooth. If I'm ever craving a candy bar, don't offer me this.
Or offer you that.
Or offer. Yeah, it depends on if you want to get me drunk or not. Would you let somebody piss on you if you got stung by a jellyfish?
Well, since I've heard that actually doesn't work, I probably wouldn't.
It does work. Well, I hear that it at least dilutes the pain. Yeah.
I'd have
not
to
do like it's curing you, but it would,
right. I mean,
dial down the pain a little bit.
It probably works because then you're thinking about someone's piss being all over your leg.
Oh, it's like the major pain thing. And like, oh, your leg is broken. Give me your hand. And it snaps the fucking finger. Now you're not thinking about the pain in your leg no more, are you? Who would I let piss on me if I got stung? Ray Ripley, Bailey, Bryce Dallas Howard.
All right. Well, I have finished mine.
Okay, give your review. I'm about to be done with mine.
So I will give this a 2.5. So for it being hoppy, for it to be above a 2 is probably pretty good.
I think that's higher than I was expecting, honestly.
Yeah, I mean it's not an awful beer. It's not it's not bad, not good. Just for me, it's right in the middle. Yeah.
And that's your conclusion. Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry. I mean, I could go into more detail, but that's really, it wasn't impressive.
You know what?
Wasn't.
Because honestly,
wasn't impressive.
I had the weirdest.
If mine wasn't impressive, it wasn't depressive. So
I'm at the bottom here. It's like conclusion.
Ooh.
Okay, so the bottom sucks. So my final conclusion is it is a 4. I will give it a solid 4.
Okay. So
because
unlike mine last
flavor.
week. So unlike mine last week, it kept improving for you. It didn't
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're basing off the taste, not how much we would drink.
Right.
Because I would not eat a 12-pack. It sounds like I'm fucking. Yeah.
Did you have to chew your beer?
I would not drink a 12-pack. I would not drink a 12-pack of this. But
you'd have one
beer. Yeah. And it was definitely, and apparently it's a strong beer. It's 10%. But yeah, I would definitely a solid 4. I almost wanted to give it 4.5, but I think there's going to be other delicious beers that are going to take that spot. So I'm going to give it a solid 4.
Okay.
It's a good one, but don't buy me a 12-pack of it. And before we dive into Blue Call and Waking Nightmare, commercial break!
What, dude? What, dude? Dude. dude. Yeah, they're thick.
Now we're back.
Hey,
Hey.
how you? Hey, you guys.
Okay. I was just saying the first movie I want to review is Blue Call.
Blue Call.
Written and directed by our friend Brian Farmer. Written and
Farmer?
directed. So that, I mean,
Came from his
going
brain.
coming into this review, let me express that I understand how hard it is to write and both write and direct a movie, or even just direct a movie. Like, it's fucking
Right.
hard to do a full feature length that's actually professionally done. I want to lead in with that because I'm gonna have some negative shit to say, so I just want to lead into that.
I mean, I do notice that you have worn the color of the first movie, just like I did.
Oh, Blue Call. Oh yeah. 10 technicality blue. We're wearing blue. Jesus Christ, Colonel. You're a fucking saint and a half. Anyways.
Oh, my name is Matthew.
Is it though? Your name is Colonel.
I know. That's what everybody calls me.
Like with doing the outsider shit with him, we were interviewing David Naughton, and he brought up David Naughton being in the movie Waking Nightmare.
Yep.
That was long before I even knew that this Waking Nightmare movie existed.
So the premise of the movie. Let's kind of
premise of Blue Call.
Yes.
Of Blue Call.
So so Blue Call's about kind of starts off with this paramedic who was on a call and ended up losing a little girl. I don't remember exactly what all happened with it, but the little girl died and she was taking some time off, kind of dealing with some PTSD, I think. And then she gets back in and starts going on EMS calls again. And
it's even hard to even explain this. It's like,
well, so then
she witnessed the little girl die. But
Right.
why did she start killing people with her fucking syringes? Like, why?
Well, but so what I got out of that is she didn't really want to, but she met Shanita Drink, which great name for a drag queen. I'm sorry, I've got to say it. It was pretty. I laughed every time I heard the name.
Oh, you like the drag queen? When she,
So
the second time she did assisted suicide, right?
Was it the second? I thought that was the first one.
That was the second one.
Okay, but well, which one was the first one then?
I know. I was afraid.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the first one. Because she helped, so this drag queen had slit her wrists, and she was basically trying to kill herself, but probably didn't do it right because she was in a lot of pain, didn't expect it to take as long as it did, and so she was just like, just help me. So she injected her with the drug to go ahead and finish her off. And then she decides to go to a drug dealer to get the drug outside of tracked avenues.
But
and then she does
drug from a goddamn drug dealer. How the fuck did she do that?
Well, she met this druggie that then the druggie started.
I'm just putting out the fucking.
I know. So, overall, she gets into this habit of helping people that are ready and want to die. She helps them, and then it steamrolls down to where she ends up killing a cop, and it kind of struggled to transition between her still trying to be noble about it and her just being a straight up serial killer.
Did you understand the ending of this fucking movie? Because there was no conclusion. It just felt like a fucking episodic TV show.
Well, so I felt like the ending needed a little bit more. I mean, she kind of slipped down that slope, and I think she let her, we'll call it dark passenger, since she does the kind of Dexter thing at the end. But she kind of lets her dark passenger take over and starts killing people.
Right.
Like, because the last guy that she killed, she was in the bar with her last partner, who was like talking to this guy at the bar, and something like the ending could have used a little bit more explanation, but I mean, I kind of stayed with it.
So you understood Blue Call. Like, you understood the storytelling of this goddamn thing.
I did, yeah. I mean,
I did not.
I felt like there was some jumping around
three times.
Well, I feel like there was some jumping around in the storyline that could have had a little more explanation behind the transition. But I mean, I think that this is the movie that Brian solely directed, right? Or that Farmer solely directed.
Yeah, this is one that he wrote and directed. There's no co-directing. This is his.
Like the filming itself, I feel was better paced between like transitions of scenes. It was just the story that kind of struggled with the transition between parts. Did you notice that the Captain Lynch, the old guy that was the runner of the paramedics or whatever, he's been in quite a few movies. So he was the
Oh yeah, no, I recognize that. Yeah.
He was the lieutenant in Gangster Squad. To tie that back to one of our previous watches.
Oh my god! I'm about to wave a fucking flag over fucking here. Like, what the fuck? Seriously?
Yeah. Because I was sitting there watching it this afternoon, and I was like, he looks really familiar. So I looked him up on IMDb, and he's been in quite a few things. And the lieutenant in Gangster Squad was one of his roles. But I mean, at the end of the day, she doesn't start off by wanting to inject these people. I mean, that's where it's kind of a transitional story from where she starts off as a kind of by the book gal, and does it one time, and then she does it another time, and then she does it another time, and then steamrolls down to where she ends up doing it to a cop.
And there's a snip that's far from me, but I'll give my rating to Blue Call right now, and it was like a development. It was a monotone throughout the whole movie. There was no excitement building. It was hit and miss. I'm definitely giving Blue Call a 2 out of 10.
Okay. So my review on Blue Call, like I said, it was for me, knowing what it was, kind of. I watched it when I first found out about it because it's one of our buddies' movies. I'm going to go watch it. So this was the, we'll call it second actual watch for me. I mean, there's been a few times we'll put it on and fall asleep to it just because we put on a movie. We put on a movie to fall asleep to. That's what we do.
Sorry, Farmer, but the best movie to put on to fall asleep to is Blue Call.
I wouldn't say that. It's not our go-to fall asleep movie. But so the rating I give it is 4.5. So
4.5 out of 10.
Yeah. So there's some things that I thought could be done a little better, but I mean, overall for me, it was still worth watching.
I'm sorry, I gotta pee again.
No, that's fine. So before you do,
waking nightmare. What?
But before you do that, like what I'll kind of throw out there is, I mean, at the end of the day, the movie, we didn't talk about this movie for very long. I mean, there's usually a lot of things to talk about in some of your bigger movies. There was some places in the movie that probably should have been expanded on a little bit, and transition story-wise transition.
Longer about them, but you want to talk about the movies, especially with like Farmers movies, stuff like that. Sometimes it doesn't take 30 minutes to talk about them.
Right.
Even Farmer knows that. If Farmer would fucking shut up.
He will. Here in a little bit. So, all right, now
Yeah.
you can now we can do a bathroom break.
Okay, yeah, I need a bathroom break, and then we'll bring Farmer in this bitch.
Well, we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
do.
review Waking Nightmare. What?
Then we'll bring him in.
Dad, can you fix this?
Sure, buddy. Go to bed. Now!
Are you sure your drinking isn't hurting anyone? Something to think about from the Ontario Ministry of Health.
Did we give our star rating on Blue Call?
We did.
And we'll just kind of give our review so we can bring in a Farmer to
Yeah.
do the second half here.
So, Waking Nightmare. I believe it released in 23, right?
See, and that's something I'm going to ask him. It's like, because he filmed those two as separate times. I just don't know which one was actually produced and released.
Right.
Because I feel like Waking Nightmare was filmed before Blue Call.
Well, and so Waking Nightmare
Could be wrong.
was co-directed. So I felt like the flow, like the filming flow.
You can
was
see
better.
a difference.
Right. So I mean, you could tell when it was. I don't know which one was which, but you could tell a difference between which scenes were directed by one and the other.
It's a lot better directed on Waking Nightmare. Waking Nightmare was a lot of fun. I
was a
liked
fun movie.
Waking Nightmare a lot.
I think Waking Nightmare, if it would have had a little stronger cast, could have been a theatrical release. So the premise of Waking Nightmare, you've got a girl that's sleepwalking and doesn't remember it whenever she does, and you end up getting
And her
some
mother
killings.
is a fucking psycho. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
So a few of the things that I wrote out on some of the notes I took. I wasn't sure about the psychedelic intro that they had. I'm sure it's supposed to do with something nightmare related.
I think that's the other director. Like Farmer will tell us when we bring it in. With that weird animation opening, and then the weird animations throughout the movie too. When you see her watching the screen, and it's weird animations. Part of it is the Dr. Caligari, which is free public domain, but then they also did animated shit too. When he did a fucking hammer on the dude's head. I thought that was cool shit.
So the 8 minutes and 51 seconds into this movie was, I believe, the actorial debut of Mr. Brian Farmer himself as Randy.
A big old piece of shit, Randy.
Oh man, Randy made me laugh a lot. So I did think it was kind of cool that they referenced the Night Stalker, which my wife and I just watched a TV episode that Very Scary People show we've been watching. We recently just watched.
Right, inserted the goddamn Charles Manson. Song.
Yeah. So there was an episode on the Night Stalker, so it's kind of neat to see that referenced. I felt like the security guard that was tripping out. I feel like there should have been a little bit more backstory on that guy instead of just kind of throwing him in. While we were watching the movie, one of the ads that we got was a KY jelly commercial. I thought that was funny.
There was a KY jelly.
a commercial from Tubi as we were watching this movie.
Waking Nightmare.
Right. So we got it. So on one of the ad breaks that Tubi puts into the movie, one of the commercials we got was a KY jelly commercial.
Nice.
Yep.
Did it give you some KY references?
No. I just thought it was funny. But it's probably one of the funniest parts. Well, two of the funniest parts that I found in this movie was whenever to the Goof Troop dad. That guy, That guy was fucking hilarious. Whenever they're fighting over the bloody shirt in the kitchen and they're like rolling around and whatnot, and then the dad's just sitting there watching him like, okay, and he just turns around and walks off. But yeah, I was not expecting the mom to be following her around, killing people.
Right. So now we're reviewing Waking Nightmare here.
Mhm.
We have Brian Farmer, who's a supporting actor, I guess.
Right.
Supporting actor. Yeah. He's not the worst actor in the bunch during
Oh, no.
Waking Nightmare,
No, he's not.
which is surprising. Which is surprising because his acting sucked.
Just his facial reactions in the good cop, bad cop scene where I laughed out loud.
Oh, but even when you pulled up, I can hear you talking. And that first scene, yeah.
You know I'm right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know I'm right here, right? But Farmer is so animate. You know I'm right here, right?
Yeah, Randy was my favorite character in the movie, but so I think the lead lady was in one of the Pitch Perfect movies, or maybe even a couple of them.
The half bald chick, the one that was like purposely shaving her head.
No, I thought it was the lead actress, like the girl that has the sleep stuff.
I love the girl that played Jordan. That's gonna be one of the questions too, Farmer. Is like,
So she was in all
how
3
the
Pitch
fuck
Perfect
did she
movies.
fit-
She was
Was she
Ashley
really?
in Pitch Perfect. Yeah, she was Ashley in Pitch Perfect.
No way. She's good as fuck. But before we bring in this director,
Let's give the review so we can.
I say
ask-
before
ask
we
him
bring
some
in
questions.
Farmer, yeah. I'll
I'm
give
sorry.
my review first.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
give my review first. To Farmers, I don't know what came first, Blue Call or Waking Nightmare. I'm not sure. But there's definitely a definitive between the two. And I really my first time watching Waking Nightmare, I didn't give any love to it whatsoever. It's my second time coming around and watching it. I actually give it a solid non-Farmer 4. I give it an actual legit
Okay.
4.
All right.
A non-Farmer 4, and you can ask Farmer what an actual Farmer 4 is.
I was gonna say I feel like there's some backstory there.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Is that where if you didn't watch the movie, it always got a 4?
Yep.
Okay.
yeah.
So for me, Waking Nightmare, like I said a little bit ago, I feel like the story itself could have had a theatrical release for the story. There was pieces that needed to be expanded on more in the movie. So I mean, overall, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I ended up giving this movie a 5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
I know how exclusive you are in your fucking ratings. What did you
Well,
give
I mean-
Blue Call?
4.5.
4.5. Waking Nightmare was a lot of fun. It really was, especially watching our boy fucking act the way he acted. Like when I give something a 4, that means I at least enjoyed it. I know.
So for you,
I don't know.
for you, like 4 to 3 is like the cutoff between I either at least liked it or didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, now we get to do the interview process of this fucking episode.
Ooh, baby, Mr.
Yeah,
Farmer,
Brian Farmer.
the director himself. And
Sorry, I just got off a jet. Sorry, it took me so long. Yeah.
I'll say it
Beginning
took
to
you a
wonder.
long time to come in for this goddamn interview that we had for you there.
You know, I was busy handling some fucking film business in Dubai. I was busy.
Oh man.
Well, here we are. We got not only a writer, director, we also have a rapper,
Much like last summer when I felt your touch, crew.
professional wrestler, producer, actor.
Bag of Skittles. Oh shit.
I
Yes,
don't know.
I'm a
And
thespian.
also a co-host of the Outsiders Horror for the last fucking 6 years. We have Brian Farmer here joining us in this interview after we just finished reviewing your movies that are exclusively on Tubi.
To be
Even
fair,
though apparently one of your movies is on Amazon now for free.
so to be fair, they were both on Amazon.
Oh, were they both? I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
I remember you. It was either you or Andrew that was telling me that, like one of them was on, like they were on Tubi, and then one of them was on names. Like the first time I watched them, I knew one of them was on Amazon.
Neither one of them are commercial free. You have to watch commercials with.
Oh, do you have the worst? Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah.
So
they,
it's free V on Amazon, and then Tubi is whatever company they are.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, because they were both put on DVD first, and then
Okay.
I know, and I tried to buy those DVDs for my local Walmart. They didn't have them on my local Walmart,
Yeah.
man, because I would have bought that fucking.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go find those movies, and I'm gonna add them to my physical media collection.
So you know what's funny is initially at first they all got sent. They were in like Best Buys and Walmart, and then a year or two later after that, then like whatever the distributor was, so the way the distribution market works for the DVDs, especially for like the independent shit. So Walmart, Best Buy, etc. They'll buy like 100,000 units, and
Right.
then once they're done and the shelf life wears off because they got to rotate,
Yeah.
then they resell them all to Dollar Tree and all the dollar stores. So then they get reshipped all around the world and end up in all different fucking dollar stores. I can't tell you over like the amount of times I've gotten pictures of it being in like fucking Texas, Colorado, like New Mexico, New Hampshire, like
So we just got a Dollar Tree down the road from our house. So maybe I should go in there and see if I can find me some farmer films.
Dude, I would not doubt that it might be scouring that Dollar Tree. I shit you not. It's all over. Yeah. So I got like I stopped like looking for them, but I used to get the quarterly reports from the distributor. And I used to see like how many units like were selling and like what states they were like crushing at and stuff. It was kind of cool like seeing like all like the breakdowns of it. But
Did
yeah,
you get royalties off of every sale?
No.
No?
Because we got a buyout from the distributor, and then once we
paid you one time, and
yeah, it was a one-time buyout, but then we made like the financiers and shit, like they made like a fuck ton of money off it on the international market. Like it sold like a bitch in like Korea.
Okay.
Like all like the Asian markets. Like dude, it was on like the Asian Netflix. But yeah, it's
Nice.
yeah. Internationally it did pretty well from my understanding that. So it was like Taiwan or whatever it was. Yeah,
So
out there it
once-
did good.
But once you sold to the distributors, you didn't see any more money after that?
Correct. I mean, like when I shot it and I made it, like they paid me X amount. Like the story of Blue Call is I had at the time I had a financer who was like this is what I got, X amount of cash. He was like, I want to do a movie. I was like, cool. He was like, I want it to involve an ambulance. Cool. Okay, you have 3 weeks to write it, and then we're gonna go shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then shooting it, we had to cut 20 fucking pages. So it was great. It was awesome.
So, like, whenever you go out and shoot a movie, do you guys have to like rent out everything that you guys have there? Is it all personal property? Like, is it a mixture of both? How do you guys do that?
It's a mixture of both. So like the same camera they shot House of Cards on is the same camera we shot Blue Call on. Like it's
Like the ambulance. Did you have to lease an ambulance?
Oh, like the props. Yeah. So like we went to like a
That was in
Hollywood.
front of a green screen, by the way, right?
Only some of it, not all. Only some.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
was all. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna be the dick in this interview.
So it was only green screen when the two girls were inside the ambo that first time. Like yeah, because the green screen never got done like the way it was supposed to. But it's only in those sections. Like when they pop up and like they're in that scene with the kid in the alleyway, like none of that was green screen. That was all real. It was just
Right.
there's only a couple scenes where it's like the green
Inside
screen,
the
but it's
vehicle
visible.
is all-
So
No, not all of it. No, only some. Not all.
did you have to get like permits or permission or something like that to run the emergency lights on the ambulance?
No,
'Cause there was-
so no,
there
we
were some
just we went
scenes that
fucking
they
we
were-
went
they
hard.
were-
We just did it.
Okay, but there were some scenes where they were obviously running where they would have had the lights on, and it didn't look like the lights were on. So I didn't know if you had to.
So those lights don't like shine as bright as you would think. Like
Really?
yeah. So like let's see. At what point we were in a sound stage for when they had the cop that was inside the back. Like
Yeah.
that, they had like the light shining through. All that was inside a blackened sound stage, and we had a fucking. And this is what they do. Like we just had a big swinging light to try to recreate headlights.
Okay.
So
right, yeah.
So which of these two movies? Sorry, I'm kind of just jumping in here, but which of these two movies did you shoot first? And then
Waking
like how
Nightmare
long
shot
did it?
first.
That's
Waking
kind of the
Nightmare
question,
shot
because
first.
okay, I'll jump in a little bit here. Like, Blue Call came out in 2021, Waking Nightmare came out in 2023, but I think the filming was different. Was it like
Correct,
they
yeah.
were filmed at different time periods?
So Waking Nightmare was filmed first, before Blue Call was. But Waking Nightmare, we had a bunch of edits from different editors. We didn't like it, and then we kind of sat on it for a few years. And my co-director at the time, like with that, like he took over the editing duties, and then he took a while to get it to a place where he felt like it was good enough to like put out.
Yeah.
So that's why like that one took a long time. But immediately when I was done with that, like I feel like that's when we started jumping into the next one, like right away almost.
Which one are you most proud of between Waking Nightmare and Blue Call?
So it's tough because the real Blue Call script is not what you see in the movie.
Thank God. I'm just saying, thank God. I'm just saying, thank God.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was more proud of the concept of Blue Call and what it was supposed to be versus
I see what you're going for.
So again, we cut out 20 pages, and that was while we were shooting. And I got fucking told, "This is what we got. You got 2 days left," and we're scrapping 20 pages. They're like, "You have to refigure out how this is going to happen." So the entire third act is a train wreck. Totally.
And I kind of noticed that. I felt like there was struggle transitioning between her doing it because she felt like she was trying to help people and her turning into a straight up serial killer.
Yeah. So like there was a bunch of shit that was supposed to happen. I got told you can't do it. You have 2 days. You got to cut everything and try to make it salvageable. Literally me and Ed Marks, the guy, he edited Jeepers Creepers, fucking Frozen, the Adam Green movie, Hatchet 2. He edited that movie. And he and I the whole time, and we're in this fucking house in Burbank, and we're like, how the fuck can we fix this thing?
Right.
And that's
trying to figure out how to fix Blue Call.
Yes. Yeah. Because my third act got gutted. Yeah.
So how many days of filming were there between, like, so Blue Call was it like 5 days, 10 days, 2 months?
I want to say 12 days.
12 days. And how long was Waking Nightmare?
That one, I couldn't even tell you. I want to say maybe a little bit more than that, maybe, because it was stretched out.
Well,
so
you directed fucking Waking Nightmare. What did you direct in Waking Nightmare?
I would say I directed everything with my partner Steve at the time. I think he handled more.
You're
of like,
always there, even though he's directing this side. You're still right there with him.
Yeah, Yeah, like we're signing off on everything as we go. Like I'm working with the actors. He's working on kind of like the way we divvied it up a little bit, it was like we both agree on the shot for the framing, like what it was going to look like. But then he was in control of that, the lighting, and then I was just trying to help the actors and keep them going. Like that was kind of like how we split it.
So it wasn't that you took part of the movie, he took part of the movie, and you guys went and shot. You guys were step and step for the entire shooting process.
For the most part, we always had two different ideas of what that movie should have been. So we try to put it together with what we had and the minimal budget that we had to make it happen. So like we always had two different perspectives, but we tried to find the happy medium on how to like appease both sides of it for as best as we could for what we had.
Would you co-direct the movie again, or was that kind of made it to where you didn't really feel like it was your vision? It was kind of a compromised vision.
Yeah, because I mean that's the way like it had to be, right? So it's like I can't just be like fuck you, it's all about me. It's like, okay, cool, you have, I respect what you have, like the same forward. Like it wasn't like always like that. Like I was definitely shittier in the situation, but like as like going back on, if we had more days, bigger budget, then I think it would have been like a lot easier if we had more revisions on things. But it's like we were just very much like all these have just been very like pressed for time, like go.
Were the days of filming directly related from the budget?
Yeah, I mean it was like it was all like super long fucking days. Like none of these were like, I think Waking Nightmare, I think that was only like 10 days. I think it like 10 days, something like that. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
God bless that kid Steve though, man. Because Steve Craig, he did what he could to like salvage the fuck out of that and like make it decent as it could be with what we had. Like he put a lot of work into that, a lot more work than I did in the end. But he tried his fucking ass off.
Yeah.
Which one are you most proud of between Waking Nightmare and Blue Call?
See, that's tough. I'm proud of what Blue Call could have been, not what the end result was.
So then result is not what you wanted on Blue Call.
No. I was compromised by a budget and producing that just didn't agree with everything, and as a result, the art suffered.
So in Waking Nightmare, you guys were at the bar and you were drinking. Were you drinking for real, or was it like water or tea or something like that?
Question.
Oh, it's all water.
You're gonna ask that question.
You're not allowed to drink on set, basically.
We tried not to. A person in our circle was recovering, so we all decided not to.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. But leave it to Farmer to sign on the weird hot chick with the half fucking shaved head to fucking straddle him and slap him across the fucking face.
Listen, that was all improv. That was improv, man.
That was not it was improv?
Yeah.
She slapped you without you even telling her to slap you in the face?
Yeah.
So why didn't you have her get naked? Like you could have had a sex scene with a naked girl.
Because he's busy getting slapped across the face.
No, it's not. Being in that position, being one of the captains, like getting to that step further, it's not professional. So it was never a thought.
Yeah,
I wanted to create a boundary, like
standing on the hot tattoo chick to fucking land on his lap and fucking slap him. Bad baby.
Improv.
There you go.
Yeah, improv.
The boundary being in place. I think it's when you guys are at the bar that you guys start making out. Are you guys actually making out, or is it just staged to look like you are?
Oh, it's staged. I wasn't even supposed to play that role. It was supposed to be somebody else, and then they bailed 2 days before, and we had no time.
I remember you telling me that. You're like, so somebody else is supposed to be Randy.
Yes.
I'm glad somebody else wasn't Randy, because you were
I am too.
For Randy.
Yeah.
Randy
was
truth,
justice, in the American way, all right?
Randy was my favorite character in that movie, to be honest. So the end of Waking
Wasn't
Nightmare.
the worst actor in that movie. Oh, sorry.
So the end of Waking Nightmare. I mean, kind of left it open, like an open-ended. Are you considering a sequel, or is that are you leaving the ending for people to kind of come to their own conclusion?
I mean, it was always supposed to be left ambiguous. Over the years, like those cast members have expressed interest in like doing a sequel, making it like done properly, like everything else, like just everything. In tune,
The
like,
cast has expressed interest.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. It's the vets, like
Who
the Jameson
played Jordan?
Newlanders. That was Shelley Regner from Pitch Perfect.
From all three. I told him that before you got on, and he didn't believe me.
Yeah, all three. Yeah. Yep. She was a close homie of mine.
Yeah, crossover actors, because then you had an actor from Blue Call and Waking Nightmare.
Did I?
Yeah,
Well,
you had
so-
the ambulance driver from Blue
Oh
Call.
yeah.
who
And
was
you know
the
who
fucking
he
detective.
yeah, you know
in
who he is
Waking
now?
Nightmare.
He's like the fucking hottest like political correspondent on like the internet, Brian Tyler
Is he
Cohen.
really?
Yeah,
That fucking pretty boy bitch? Oh,
yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
yeah.
Well, I thought it was kind of cool that who was it? The Captain Lynch in Blue Call. He's played in quite a few movies too. Like he was the lieutenant in Gangster Squad that we reviewed a couple weeks ago. And
Yeah. He was Mark Wahlberg's dad in The Fighter. He was in Rescue. He's done a ton of shit. Yeah.
So, can you tell us how you got David Naughton to play in Waking Nightmare, or is that something you don't want to reveal?
Oh no, that's fine. No, that's you know what's funny is I hit up his agent, and his agent was like, he doesn't do indies. I was like, okay, all right, cool. And then fucking I found David Naughton's email, and I found it off IMDb somewhere, and I shot him an email, and I was like, hey dude, blah blah blah, I'm so and so, this is what I have, like this is like my reel, this is et cetera, and he was like, yeah, I'll read it. And then you ready? He was like, fuck yeah, I'll do this. It was that easy.
Nice.
Yep.
So who would you say is probably the biggest star today that you've worked with on a set?
Feldman, probably.
Who?
I'd say
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, Eric Roberts, one of those two. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I produced something with Corey, but I directed Eric. So probably Eric, I think, as far as like done like the most, worked with the biggest amount of stars. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Eric Roberts. You know Eric Roberts, Colonel. You definitely know Eric Roberts.
I'm sure I do. The name's not.
He's Julia Roberts' brother, but he's been in a ton of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like on Blue Call, the other kid, the TJ kid, that's Jonathan Bennett from Mean Girls. He played Aaron Samuels in Mean Girls, the one that like Lindsay Lohan is in love with and the other girl dates. He's the one that's bad at math. Yeah.
So do we have
Actually,
any more?
I retract my statement. The biggest star I ever worked with was Mike Starr. Easily the best.
Okay.
He was in Dumb and Dumber. He was in The Office. He's done a ton of shit.
Who was he in The Office? 'Cause that's where I'm gonna be.
Have you seen all The Office?
Oh yeah, many times.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he's the guy when he tried to get Michael to sign for the life insurance. So they go to the Italian restaurant.
They think he's
he's in
part
the
of the mob.
mafia. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I love it, dude. I go when we shot because that was the pilot that we shot with Aaron Carter. He was I'm giving him direction. I'm like, this is what I want. He goes, he looks at me, and he's like, he's like, when I worked on Ed Wood with Tim Burton, he didn't fucking give me any direction. He's like, you're giving me fucking notes. I was like, yeah, because I know the way I want it.
So were there any of the actors or actresses in these movies that were difficult to work with, or was everybody pretty cool?
Everybody was great.
Who's better, Jordan from Waking Nightmare or the deck from Blue Call? Both of them are hot as shit, so I'm wondering who's a pain in the ass or not.
They were both great. I think Katie was seen more on a national scale because she had her own TV show on ABC Family called Switch to Birth. So
I thought I recognized you.
Yeah, so she had her own show that went for like 7 seasons.
Do we get to look?
Creature from
What's Colonel? Is this one like half in the fucking bag? Look at him. Like,
No, I can't. Yeah, whatever. But
Okay,
anyway,
so
all right, so we know which
Waking
one he
Nightmare.
hates. Which one did you like?
Waking
Which one did you like
Nightmare,
the least?
Waking Night.
Yeah.
A Waking Nightmare is a delicious treat. She's a delicious treat.
So personally, I liked Waking Nightmare a little bit better than Blue Call.
Sure.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I liked them. I liked them both.
Spoiler.
Do we? So, out of curiosity, do we get to expect any future Brian Farmer directed movies?
That I don't know.
Are we
I
at
don't
the
know.
end of Brian Farmer movies, or
I
can we expect?
I
future ones?
think right now, maybe. Am I working on the Child Star thing with like a bunch of like Child Star people? Yeah. Is that going to happen anytime soon? No. But is it the end? Probably not, because I got a lot of traction with this one. So we will see. But it's my Aaron Carter story mixed in with Amanda Bynes. So that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Well, you're a hell of a pistol, you know. You're a
That's
hell
it,
of a
baby.
pistol.
That's it. Real
You're a hell
pistol.
of a pistol.
You know I get
Got your hands in
down.
a lot of
Real
stuff.
pistol, baby.
That's it.
So, I did see on your IMDb page that there is a movie called Running with Fear, but I never saw a way to watch it. Is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. That's the one with Eric
yeah,
Roberts.
okay.
Yeah, that was like the very first thing I ever did in my entire life.
So are we going to be able to get a way to watch that?
Actually, yeah, because the distributor asked me for it, so it's gonna come out probably in like a year. But yeah,
Nice. Well, I was going to ask Andrew if he had more questions, but I'm guessing it's
the
pee
only
time.
question Andrew has is where's the next drink coming from? Other than
Well, I really did enjoy watching these movies. I mean, it's fun to it puts a different aspect on the movie when you get to watch something that one of your buddies made.
yeah, yeah. If you knew the amount of stress that is involved in this shit, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, I can only imagine, especially if you were like getting like almost like a horror story where you're in the middle of filming and they're like, "Hey, we're cutting out your climax."
Yeah, yeah. I got stories for off the air, but yeah, yeah. It's yeah. It was interesting to say the least.
So did the low budget? I assume they were low budget. Did that kind of push you away from the directing side, not being able to get the kind of budget you wanted to be able to put on screen what you wanted?
100%, because with that, there's always limitations, it's always sacrifice, and it's always a fucking problem. And then you're always at the mercy of other people because it's usually their money that they're putting up. And then you got to deal with egos, you got to deal with a bunch of shit. It's usually a lot more drama on the lower scale. I will say the last thing I did, which was the group TV show, like the sitcom pilot, that was probably the most freedom I ever had, and that was probably the best looking thing I've ever done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wish you would have success on that situation right there,
dude. It was close.
I wish you really had fucking success there.
It was close with the show. With the show, it was fucking close.
How close?
Has there
How
been
close did that show get?
It went to Netflix. Like it was fucking close.
Yeah,
it was close.
Is it on Netflix or it just never got?
No.
Never got.
It didn't get picked up.
Aaron Carter died.
It made it to fucking developmental. Like they were looking at it, like it could have been a thing. It just they didn't pick it up. Nothing happened with it, and then
Colonel. That's why I introduced him as a real pistol, because that's what he says in the Aaron Carter documentary. He's a real pistol. He's a real.
That documentary was kind of cool. Getting fucking flown out for that. That was cool.
Yeah.
He didn't even wear a hat. That's what they're
off. Dude,
like, oh, he's going full-fledged bald farmer.
That's real stuff.
I was there. Fucking full roar. Yeah.
So, if there was anything that you could change about either one of these movies and how you directed them, is there anything that you would change?
Well, of course, there's a fuck ton I would have changed. Yeah.
Outside of the stuff that you were restricted on,
he would definitely fucking change a lot of.
Yeah, I would change a lot of shit. Would I change like my stylistic choices? Probably not. Would I have changed the when you have a minimal budget, you're rushing. You can't get the amount of takes you want to get. You can't do the setups you want to take. You have to figure out how to do the most minimal shit possible to achieve
Yeah.
something fucking half decent. Blue Call, dude, there was like 50 locations. There was like 5 moves a day, and you're only allowed to shoot 11 hours off the SAG contract. But then you got to take a bunch of fucking breaks in between. You have to reset. Like, you're working with the minimal crew. Like, it's ambitious for what the fuck it was. That's why this one over here shitting on the green screen. As much as he likes to fucking shit and stuff, he couldn't handle half the fucking workload that it takes to do this. But I
really think he was just mad that his
his thing. That was the fucking sound guy's fault. That wasn't my fault. I sent it to him. Him and his fucking glorious voiceover. But there's a lot of it changed, 100%. But it starts with fucking them putting in more money and giving me more time. It's tough when you got to try to shoot 12 pages a day. Most people shoot fucking 4.
Yeah.
So like everything is rushed. That's the unfortunate side. Everything is rushed.
But at the end of the day, given what you were given, you were still pretty happy with the end result.
I mean, to a degree, yeah. More proud of like some of the shit on Waking Nightmare because that at least looked like fucking stylish for like as low budget as it was. Like at least like that kind of had some nuts.
Colonel keeps telling me like, "Give Farmer do for them." I'm like, no, I've watched this movie, and I'm gonna immediately review what I think about those.
Yeah, the Blue Call stuff. It was intended to be a slow burn. It was intended for like what it was, but it
confusing.
What'd you say?
Confusing as fuck.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I had
fucking confusing.
I had to refigure out a movie with fucking what I had for scenes from like different parts, and I had to. Me and Ed Mark said it the best. We had to Frankenstein this thing together, and that's exactly what we had to do. Yeah.
All right. Hey, every time you act, I want you to grab your neck and rub it.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So in Waking Nightmare, the good cop bad cop scene, when your facial expressions were cracking me up, like what, like kind of go through that scene. Like how many times did you have to shoot that? Like give me a little backstory on that scene.
How many times did you have to shoot that?
I think twice. Once, maybe twice. Yeah. It was great. I loved it. There's so many different versions of that. There was one version that's like very True Detective. It's like all fucking rotating. It's all like one shot. It's sick. Yeah.
Who was your boy?
Oh, Randy, what the fuck, Randy? What the fuck?
All right.
Wait, what did you say?
Who was your boy that was going through that with you? Like you two were tag teaming on that movie. Who was that guy?
Oh, Steve Wu, the other kid.
Steve
that was like,
Wu,
the kid was like, "Oh, Randy, what the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
You were my inspiration for the crackhead.
Well, Brian, thank you for joining us. It's been fun getting to ask you some of the questions that I had in regards to the making of
things. Oh yeah, while recording, yeah. You pretty mouth bitch. Okay.
Yeah!